Well, Donald Trump had a really good day yesterday. He won the 5 primaries. He joins us right now on the phone. Donald Trump, we saw you on TV last night. How did you celebrate the big win?
Well, I was up early this morning. I did a couple of shows, but yours has to always be in that list. Otherwise, I would be in big trouble with you folks, and that would not be a pleasant day.
Right.
But
How'd you celebrate?
I didn't really celebrate. You know, I like to celebrate when things are over. We're just about there. You have 2 people that are really hanging around, and they did very poorly last night. And we very much exceeded what everybody thought. I mean, we're in the 60s, and you know, it's very hard to get into the 60s when you have 3 people. Very, very hard. And I'm in the 60s. And if you look at Pennsylvania, I've got most of those delegates tied up. By the way, on the record, I can say that because most of those people are tied up now. And
what do you mean?
Well, most of the, as you know, I won only 17 by winning the state in a landslide. Mm-hmm. You only win 70 because the whole system is horrible, and it's just a horrible system, this whole delegate system. But nevertheless, we've tied up many of the delegates. They were Trump delegates, and so they're officially ours. And it's a substantial number. It's like 26 or something in addition to the 17. And then the rest of them we will be able to get. But think of it, I win the state in a landslide, and you have Cruz and his minions going out and trying to sign people. He came in 3rd place, trying to sign people desperately, you know, taking them out to coffee and to dinner and to steak and to hotels and trying to sign people to be. This is not the process. This is not the American way, and it's frankly very disgusting. But we had a tremendous night and tremendous victories, far greater than even the polls thought we were going to do.
Right. Now, a lot of people were saying it's going to be a contested convention. Then we see the results this morning after last night. Many of the statisticians were saying you had to get over 100 delegates. Well, you did that. So a lot of people are waking up this morning thinking, all right, maybe this is not going to go to a contested convention. I know you've been saying that all along. But do you consider this a turning point, or what do you say to those voters who maybe were thinking, yeah, contested convention, but they're waking up this morning thinking differently?
No, I think it's not a turning point. I think New York might have been a turning point. Last week I got almost 100% of the delegates, 95 delegates. We got almost all of them. We got 62%, you know, again, with 3 people. You know, the point is if you had 2 people, 62% is a good number. But against 3 people, 62% is hard to get, and I got it. And this week we did almost the same, except it's even with a more diverse group. I mean, you know, from Delaware to Rhode Island, and then you have Pennsylvania and Maryland and Connecticut. And, you know, it's a very diverse group, and won them all conclusively. It wasn't even close. And we got most of the delegates. So it was actually we got, I guess you have the count better than I would, but we got
105, right?
Yeah, we were happy with 80, and I think we got more than 105. Yeah.
Right. Hey, so Donald Trump, I got to ask you, you said something in your address last night. You said you don't change quarterbacks in the middle, you know, as you get into the Super Bowl, you don't change quarterbacks. I wonder if that meant behind the scenes, because there's some talk behind the scenes that Corey Lewandowski is back front and center, and maybe the new guys have stepped back. Were you feeling as though you were leaving your personality a little bit, being less flamboyant, and as Corey stepped back, and now he's stepping forward again?
No, there really is harmony behind the scenes. You know, these magazines like Politico, papers, writes without ever calling me. I'm the only one that understands it. I'm the only one that knows what's going on. I mean, they get along great. Paul and Corey and the whole group get along great. We have great relationships. But they'll write a story. It's almost as though they just say, hey, write a story on Trump. They don't call anybody. They don't talk to anybody. And they write a story. And it's always a good story, you know, because they write that, oh, well, they're fighting, and they're really not. I mean, I'm telling you, they're not. And I'm the only one that knows. I would be able to. And you know what? You folks, I would tell. You're the only ones that could tell, okay?
Well, thanks.
But, Brian, they get along great, and they're different responsibilities. You know, Paul is very much focused on delegates, which is a good responsibility. That's why with Pennsylvania, we got so many delegates. You know, everyone was saying those 50-some-odd delegates are floating delegates. Well, we've gotten most of them signed up and done.
No doubt you had a good night. There's a story out this morning, Donald Trump, that Ted Cruz may name Carly Fiorina as his running mate later on today. Do you think that would help him going into Indiana next Tuesday? What does that do for him if she joins his ticket?
Well, I think it hurts him. I don't think I can't imagine he does it. First of all, he shouldn't be naming anybody because he doesn't even have a chance, all right? He doesn't have a chance. He's millions of votes behind. He hurt himself horribly when he did the collusion deal with Kasich. Everyone's upset about it. Everyone's angry about it. But more importantly, he's millions of votes behind. He's hundreds of delegates behind. I mean, what is he, 400 or 500 delegates behind? He's got no path to victory, and he's naming a vice presidential candidate. I guess that's cute. You know, his whole campaign has been based on psychology. But the psychology is no good, and it's not working because, you know, what happened yesterday was a disaster for them. It showed weakness. Right. It showed how weak they were. And naming Carly's tough because Carly didn't do well. I mean, she had the one good debate, not against me, by the way, I have to tell you, because I had an unblemished record of victories at debates. But she had one good debate on the smaller stage, as you say, and that was it. And then she went up in the polls, and every week she went down, 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 down. And she ended up with a very small number and had to get out. I think she's a nice woman. I think that it's not going to help him at all. And he shouldn't be naming anybody now. It looks, to me, it looks ridiculous. He's not going to get the nomination.
Mr. Trump, we've been asking our viewers to write in their questions because we think it's important for you to hear from our viewers and then answer their questions. Okay. This is what Selman sent us an email, and he says, overwhelmingly, your supporters say that they would never cast a vote for Ted Cruz, and Cruz's fans would never cast a vote for you. How can you convince Cruz Republicans to cross over to Trump?
Well, I agree that my supporters will never cast a vote for him. But I do believe his supporters will cast a vote for me, and we're already seeing it. Look, when I get, you know, let's say I averaged over 60% in 5 states, very diverse states. A lot of those people were Cruz supporters previously because, you know, before they were talking about, oh, he didn't break 50, he didn't break 50. You know, it's hard to break 50 when you have 8 people running, okay? I mean, I never get credit. I tried to make a big point of that last night, but I watched my first pundit show this morning before you went on, and I saw they didn't cover it again. It's amazing. They don't talk about it. But when you have 6, 7, 8 people that are vying, and then let's say I get 34 in New Hampshire. Let's say I get 34.
No, we get it.
That's a massive, that's almost impossible to get 34. And then you go on television and Crowdhammer says he should have had 50. Well, you can't get 50 when you have that many people running. Right. So anyway, look, I made that point, but even when you have 3, it's hard to get 50. You know, if you had, if I had the number, right, it's very hard to get 50. So now I'm getting 60 and 62, and I have 3. So it's been just very exciting. Right. We're getting a lot of his people are turning over to us.
Here's Clayton wrote us this via email. Would you have your Attorney General reopen the investigation of Mrs. Hillary Clinton's classified emails, Clinton Foundation, of course, Benghazi, if she isn't charged with anything, I assume, if you become president? Quick answer.
Yes, I would.
All right, not enough. And would you be more likely to name a female VP should you get the nomination to counter Hillary Clinton's gender?
It's possible. There are a couple that are really very good. It's possible. I don't know that it counters her gender. I don't think she does well with women, frankly. You know, her poll numbers are very bad with women. But I watched her last night, and I said it. I mean, Hillary Clinton is playing the woman's card to a fare thee well, and it's the only thing she's got going. And I said, if she were a man, she wouldn't get 5% of the vote.
Speaking of a man, Bobby Knight's going to be joining you out in Indiana. Next stop, Indiana, the Hoosier State. Good luck, Mr. Trump.
He is indeed a man. He's a great guy and a great coach and a brilliant guy, and I look forward to it. That'll be fantastic tonight.
It'll be fiery. We're going to put you on a 5-second delay.
Okay.
Mr. Trump, like we always say, we asked all of the candidates to join us this morning. Thank you for taking us up on that invitation.
I think the other candidates are too depressed.
They're sleeping in. They're sleeping in.
Well, have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you very much.